welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I'm going to be putting in my runner beans, hopefully. So I've got a little bit of work that I need to do on the bed where they go in before I put them in, and I will show you what I've got to do and talk you through the steps that I'm going to do them. This L-shaped bed by my cold frame is going to be where I'm going to put the beans, and they're going to go sort of at the back, running along there. So I'll have canes coming up here that hopefully I can use the fence to secure the canes so they won't fall over, because I'll just be putting them up sort of singly rather than an A-frame. So hopefully that will work. I've already got 2 dahlias in here which I need to shift because they're just in the way really, and they got too big last year and they didn't have a very nice display because they were just splayed all over the place. So I've got to dig those 2 dahlias out, get rid of these weeds that are, well actually the weeds are not really in the bed, the weeds are coming from outside, but I better clear most of them and it'll all look nice, and then fill it with compost. And these dahlias, I've got a large tub that side and a large tub this side, and I'm gonna empty out a fair amount of this top compost because it's what I grew my parsnips in last year. The parsnips didn't do great in this tub, so I'm not going to reattempt that this year. So I just want to lift some of that spent compost out and just put some fresh in, and then I can move the dahlias from here. And hopefully I'll also put some cosmos and some calendula and some, what's the other thing I've got, some zinnia in the flower container, I suppose, and then hopefully that will be a nice display for when we're sitting here having our meals in the summer. But it's really hot, so I'm going to get on and I'm going to empty the bed and I'm going to put the dahlias into those pots and do all those jobs, and I'll bring you back when I've finished that and show you the progress, because it's just too hot at the moment, and it's too hot to set up the tripod and all that. So I'll catch you in a bit. Time has ticked on, and 4 hours later we've arrived at this. I haven't been doing this for 4 hours, honest. It's just that I've been doing supper and all that malarkey for the children. So I've got the framework up. These are 6-foot canes that by the time you've sunk them a foot in the ground, they never sort of go very high, do they? But anyway, so what I've done is I put them in the ground, and then I wanted to secure them to the fence. So I used this is an inside of a pallet collar, a pallet that I've taken apart over the years to use the wood for raised beds, and I was going to make some sort of strawberry planters out of these, but I just didn't get around to it. So now they're being used to support the frame. So I'm pulling on that now, and it's not really going anywhere. So if there's any high winds come through, they shouldn't it shouldn't be blown over. So I've just got a couple of screws along here into the fence, and then it's just tied in a couple of places to that. So hopefully that should be enough to keep the framework standing all season. So I've just got to put these beans in now, and I'll show you what it's looking like when I'm done. And there we are, that's the runner beans in, well, one lot of them anyway. This lot is Lady Di, and the other lot I've got to go in is Polestar. So I couldn't quite remember which way the beans like to go around the pole. I thought it was anti-clockwise, but I can't remember, and I know it does affect how they grow if you do it the wrong way. So I'll have to have a look at that on online and see. I almost forgot to show you the dahlias. So I ended up just planting the dahlia in the end because that one doesn't look too bad. But if we come over to the other one, I just thought that the dahlia might grow so much that it would drown out the cosmos and zinnia. So I thought, well, I might just put the cosmos and zinnia in a couple of pots around here, so there's something nice and colourful to look at when we're sitting in this area. I did plant some calendula in this pot, but I might move them into the greenhouse at a later date. It really is time now that I got these celeriac in the ground. Some of them are still not that great, but I'm going to put them in the ground anyway and see how they are. I'm going to put them in this little section here. I've also got the other runner beans to go in over here, and I've already put in a A-frame. Well, not so much an A-frame really, is it? Because it's sort of like in the middle joined. So whatever kind of frame this is, but it's a bean structure anyway. And there's the runner beans ready to go in. And the other structure I've made is this pea structure, which I've got two different kinds of peas here. This is Sugar Ann, which I think is a sugar snap. And this is Sugar Prince, which I'm not sure if that's a sugar snap or a mange tout, as I don't have the packet anymore, but they'll go in, one on this side and the other variety on that side. I'm not sure how tall they're going to climb, so I've done a tall structure that I can just add some net into here when it's time, if it's time to add to it. That sentence got away from me a bit then, but I'm going to get on with planting things out. So I'll set you up on a tripod and we'll get the music going. I'm now going to move on to filling this bed up with the brassicas. So I've got some purple sprouted broccoli to go in here, interplanted with some nasturtiums. Then I've got kohlrabi, greyhound cauliflower, romanesco cauliflower, which is looking pretty big. I kind of hope it hasn't been in the plugs too long. Here's some broccoli, some Amsterdam cauliflower and a bit of kale there. Then 2 lots of kale here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put all this kale in here because I thought I might grow some of it in the flower beds at the front and the tabery bed at the side or behind me, just to give a bit of something going on in the winter really. And then a load of nasturtiums again. So I'm going to get on with planting these up, and I'm not sure how many I'll get in this bed, but I'll show you what it's looking like when I've finished. Here's the bed all planted up. There's broccoli right at the back, then cabbages, then cauliflower Amsterdam with some kohlrabi in front, and then there's the 6 romanesco, and there's the purple sprouting broccoli here. There's I didn't even have room for the kale, but that's okay because I've still got these beds here to fill up, and a little bit of room there, and a little bit of room there. So I'll decide what to do with these over lunch. I might put 6 in this bed there, so that I sort of guaranteed 6, and then the rest I might dot around the flower beds. But typically these have not been planted here, they've just self-seeded, and they're actually doing much better than the ones I have planted. Isn't that just typical? So what I might do with these is, because they're quite good, I don't know what kind of cucurbits they are, but they will be some sort of squash or of some kind. So I'll plant them up into the into some pots and see how they're doing. And I just wanted to show you these courgettes here that are not doing very well at all. I planted them out and they kind of died off a bit. However, there are these leaves that are growing, and I think there's hope for this plant here, because I think there's enough leaf there to photosynthesize for the whole plant. But this one over here is not looking great, because the 2 leaves that it's got are really crinkling up, and then in the middle there are 2 tiny little leaves, and I'm not sure those tiny leaves are going to be enough to sustain the root and everything. And so we'll keep an eye on them anyway. You never know, they might pull through. Planted some chives here, which got some flowers coming on them, and I planted some dwarf borlotti beans here, and they're doing well. I've staked them. I might just tie the next lot in now, because that's flopping around a bit, but they're looking good. I'm not sure if I should have staked them or whether they were better to be left and establish their own stems, but they were flopping on the ground and I just thought they were better upright. They do seem to have grown better since I staked them. And I just tidied up that area over there as well. I'm going to be putting my climbing beans in that barrel there and one at the front. So I just need to net that brassica bed now, and I've already sprayed it with the grazers chemical spray that isn't dangerous to butterflies. It just makes the cabbages and the brassicas not taste very nice, so they don't want to lay their eggs on there. And I'm going to go in and have some lunch and think about where to put that kale now. So that's it from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog where I've planted out a few things. I've still got a fair amount left to plant out, but most of it is getting there now. So there'll be a few more vlogs on me planting out over the next couple of weeks, but then we should be done and everything should be in place. So that's always cheerful, isn't it? That's it from me for today. Thank you for, I forgot myself then. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting. If you have done so, giving me the thumbs up, that's really great. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody. And all I can say about my work today is lovely job.